So in this video, we're going to check out Clawdbot, or as it's now called, Moltbot. And if you haven't heard of Clawdbot by now, you probably haven't been checking out Twitter because this has been trending for the last couple of days. And this is an AI tool that can do basically anything on your PC. Now, it's best to run this on a server or something like that instead of your own local PC where the AI can touch anything in your computer. But for me here, just for this video, I'm going to install it onto my actual computer for a bit. So firstly, let's get into what this can actually do. So apart from being an AI tool that can actually use all of the tools on your computer, it can, for example, navigate to pages in your browser, close applications that are open, stuff like that. It can also be used through different messaging platforms. So you can set up like a Telegram bot or speak to it over WhatsApp, and you can basically just send it messages like it shows in the screenshot here. And it will actually reply to you on your phone. But like if you give it instructions, it will carry out those instructions on the machine it's on. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, to install it, it's pretty simple. There is a script to install it here, but all the script has in it is it's basically checking if you have npm installed and git installed, which I'm assuming if you're watching this channel, you already have all of those things installed. And then you just need to run the npm install command, which is right here, npm install -g, and then Moltbot at latest, or for me it was Clawdbot at latest. So in this video, whenever I use a command and I type out the word Clawdbot, just replace that with Moltbot if you're running the latest version. So once you have this installed with npm install -g Moltbot at latest, you can just copy this and paste it, and I'll leave a link to the docs in the description and the pinned comments. You can just go ahead and right click on your start button right here and click on terminal as admin. Now this does need to be as admin or it won't install the gateway correctly. I actually made that mistake the first time I installed it. But yeah, once this loads up, you just paste that command in and hit enter, and that will install it for you. Now, once it's done installing, you need to run Maltbot onboard. So for me, it's going to be Clawdbot onboard. So this will be the onboarding process to begin setting up your Clawdbot. And this will do stuff like let you select the model that you're going to use inside of this. You can give your Clawdbot a name. And remember, if you're on the latest version, you need to type Moltbot here, not Clawdbot.
This is your mid-video boss fight. Defeat the like button and smash subscribe.
Okay, so now that that's done loading, it's going to say, I understand this is powerful and inherently risky. Continue. So we're just going to select yes here. You need to select it with the keyboard. You can't click on these. And we just hit enter here. Basically, that was just to let you understand that the AI can basically control your entire computer. So you need to make sure you're installing this on something that you don't really mind if the AI deletes anything. And yeah, that's why I basically recommended running this on a server. But just for this video, I'm going to run this on my personal computer. And then here in the onboarding mode, we can just select quick start here. We can also set this up manually if we want to configure all the ports and the networking and all of that stuff. But we're just going to select quick start here. And here it has some default values that I filled in earlier. So I'm just going to, you won't see these options down here for use existing. So I'm just going to click on update values right here. And this is the screen that you should be seeing. So now we need to pick the model that we want to use with Clawdbot. So we have a lot of options here from OpenAI. We have all of the ChatGPT stuff and Codex. And then Anthropic, we can use Claude and stuff if we want. And there's a lot of models in here. Now, the two that I recommend is going to be Minimax. So Minimax M2.1. And you can see here that that's the recommended model. And then also down here at the bottom from ZAI, we have GLM 4.7, which is like really good. It's comparable to Claude Opus 4.5. But yeah, for this demo, I'm just going to stick with Google, and I'm going to use Gemini 3 Flash because I already have an API key for that setup. So we're just going to select this, and we're going to select Gemini API key. Now here you can also select anti-gravity, which is the AI IDE that Google created. So you can use that login instead of going and getting an API key and filling that in. And this will basically kind of hijack that OAuth. So I don't really recommend doing this. You might get banned or something later on. I know people have been banned from Claude for using stuff like that. And yeah, let's stick with Google Gemini API key. And I'm just going to pause the video here and paste that in, and then we'll be back. Okay, so now that we've entered the API key, we can choose the model that we want to use here. I recommend Gemini 3 Flash for this. You can also use Gemini 3 Pro, but the cost is going to be a lot more for the tokens that you use. So yeah, we're going to select Gemini 3 Flash Preview here. And here we can select the channel that we want to speak to it through. Now, I recommend setting up Telegram because it's the easiest to set up. You just select this option here, and then you need to message an account on Telegram. It's called the Bot Father. And basically, once you message their account, you just type in /new bot, and it will create the bot for you. And it will also give you an API key, which you can just paste in here, and it will all be set up. Now I'm going to cancel this because I'm not going to set up Telegram right now. We can just use it through the PC interface. Okay, and then I'm just going to hit skip for now. We're not going to set up any of these channels, but I do recommend setting up the Telegram so that you can just message it from your phone and tell it what you need to do. So I'm going to hit skip for now, and that's basically all we need to do. Now it's asking us if we want to configure your skills. Now skills are basically tasks that it's taught the AI how to do. For example, how to navigate certain websites or how to use certain tools on your PC. For example, Gmail, it has a skill that can teach it how to check all of your messages and reply to messages and stuff like that. But we're not going to configure that right now. And then enable hooks. So here we can set up a command logger that will log all of the commands and events that it runs for you to look at later. I recommend you enable this. But for now, I'm just going to skip all of this. And yeah, we need to select one of these. So we need to select skip now by pressing space and then hit enter. And then it will say gateway service is already installed. Now for you, this will start installing the gateway. It's telling me this because I've already installed this beforehand. So I'm just going to click on restart here. And basically for you, this will install the gateway and then run it. Now, once it's done installing the gateway and starting that up, you should see a screen like this, and it will also say onboarding complete. A dashboard has been opened in your browser. So this is basically the dashboard that it's using. And in here, we can go to the chat tab and speak directly to the AI, or we can check out the overview, which has some stats and stuff like that. And also there's sessions, cron jobs, which we can use for scheduling stuff to do in the future. And actually, we don't actually touch any of the stuff in here. We tell the agent what to do here. So we can tell it, hey, every 5 hours, for example, go and check Twitter and see if anyone left me any comments or something like that. And it will actually set up a cron job in here to do something every 5 hours. And then we have skills down here, which we haven't installed any by default because we clicked skip when we were installing. But these are some of the skills that we could have installed. And we can also go here to Claude Hub to get more skills. So this is the Claude Hub, or now I guess it's called the Malt Hub, but the URL is still claudehub.com. You can find any skill you need here. For example, if you wanted to interact with Google, we also have Trello here, Slack, all of this stuff. Yeah, basically any tool you could think of is in here. You just select it, or you can just copy the link to that tool, give it to your Clawdbot, and tell it you want to install that tool, and it should set up everything for you. So yeah, back to the chat. What can we do with this? So I can do something, for example, like I can open up VS Code here. And then while this is opening up, I can say, can you check if VS Code is running? And if it is, just close that. Okay, so I'm just going to hit send here, and we can see that VS Code is running here at the bottom. And you can see that it's vanished from the bottom. So it's closed it just by us giving this command here. Which, remember, if we set up something like Telegram or something, we could have done this through a message on our phone. Now, where this becomes really useful is we can actually give it control of the browser itself. So it can browse different websites, click on stuff, and do things like that. So to do this, I'm just going to head back into the docs here, and we need to install the browser extension. So the command for that is Moltbot browser extension install. For me, it's going to be Clawdbot since I have the older version. So I'm just going to copy this. And in my terminal here, I'm going to type Clawdbot and then paste that. So for you, it's going to be Maltbot if you have the latest version. So this will only take a second to install. And once it's done, you're going to see copied to clipboard here. And the reason why we need to have this copied to clipboard is because we need to head into the browser here, open up a new tab. And we need to click on extensions up here and then select manage extensions. So in here, you want to click on developer mode. You want to make sure that that's enabled. And then you're going to see an option up here for load unpacked. So then you just need to paste this into the navigation here at the top and hit enter. And then you want to click on select folder here. And this will set up the Clawdbot browser relay. So in here, you just leave all the settings as default. You hit save here and you can basically close all of this. So then we can just head into any tab here. Now you do need to be in one of the tabs because wherever you enable this, that's the only tab in the browser that it can really control. So I'm going to hit on Clawdbot browser relay right here. And you should see this Clawdbot relay is running message over here. And from here, we can just head back to our agent and we can tell it whatever we need it to do. So I'm going to say, can you check the latest trends on Twitter? And also, can you check if I have any notifications? And yeah, I just needed to give it a few more instructions there because it doesn't really know how to use that relay that well. But yeah, now it's given us all of the information that we need. And by the way, just as I've shown you here where it didn't really work at first, but then I gave it proper instructions for how to do this, you can then tell it to save that as a skill. So later on, you can just say use that skill when it's doing something. And yeah, it's given us the trending stuff in South Africa, which is where I'm from. And it's also given us our recent notifications, which is what I've asked for. Now remember, this is super powerful if you're using this from a mobile device over something like Telegram or WhatsApp, because you could be somewhere else doing something else and it can go and check your notifications, reply to stuff, do stuff like that. And yeah, this is basically how Clawdbot works. I'll just show you that it can save a skill right here. So I just said, can you save the browsing as a skill? Basically how to navigate the tabs here. So the mistake it was making was it was spawning more than one tab. But as I mentioned before, you need to enable this in the tab that you wanted to use. And from there, it can only use that one tab. So even though it can spawn other tabs, it can't actually use those tabs. Okay, and right here it did a lot of reads and writes, and basically it says it's created and packaged a new skill, X browsing, and this is basically a skill for browsing X or Twitter or whatever you call it now. And yeah, this has been Clawdbot. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know this is a pretty short video and I just haven't uploaded something in a while, so I thought I would make this Clawdbot tutorial since it's trending right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.
Congratulations, you've reached the end. Your reward, the sacred like button. Smash it.